Ever scrolled through your phone and seen people screaming about buying the dip, investing in Nvidia, or watching their stock portfolios blow up? It sounds exciting, right? But if you're sitting there wondering, what exactly are they buying? And how does a digital line on a screen actually make someone rich? You are not alone. Finance can feel like a giant club with its own secret language. But today, we are breaking it down completely. What is a stock? How do they work? And how do regular people use them to build real wealth? Let's start with the absolute basics. What is a stock? Think of your favorite massive company, let's say Apple or Amazon, like a giant cake. If you cut that cake into millions of tiny slices, each slice is called a share. When you buy a single share, you are buying a literal slice of that business. You become a shareholder. That means you own a tiny fraction of their factories, their intellectual property, and yes, a tiny piece of their future profits. Now, you might ask, why would a massive company want to sell pieces of itself to random people like us? The answer is simple. Capital. Growth is expensive. If a company wants to build new factories, invent new tech, or expand across the globe, they need a mountain of money. They could borrow it from a bank, but then they have to pay it back with heavy interest. Instead, they choose to go public through an IPO, initial public offering, selling slices of the cake to the public. That money is theirs to keep and use to grow the business. To see how this works in the real world, let's scale it down to something we all love: pizza. Meet Sarah. Sarah has a dream to open Sarah's Pizzeria. She calculates that she needs $100,000 to buy the ovens, lease the space, and get started. The problem? She only has $50,000 saved up. Instead of taking a bank loan, Sarah decides to split her business into 10 equal shares, valued at $10,000 each. She keeps 5 shares for herself, because she put in $50,000, and sells the other 5 shares to local investors. Enter Alex believes in Sarah's recipe, so he buys 1 share for $10,000. Alex now officially owns 10% of Sarah's pizzeria. Sarah gets her $100,000, the ovens turn on, and the business opens. Fast forward 5 years. The pizzeria is crushing it. They've opened 3 new locations. Because the business is making so much money, the overall value of the company jumps from $100,000 to $300,000. Alex. He still owns 10% of the business, but 10% of $300,000 is $30,000. If Alex decides to sell his share to someone else, he walks away with a $20,000 profit. But wait, investing isn't a one-way street to getting rich. There is always a risk. What if a massive corporate pizza chain opens next door to Sarah, her sales plummet, and the value of the pizzeria drops to $80,000? Now, Alex's 10% share is only worth $8,000. If he sells, he just lost $2,000 of his hard-earned money. In the real world, this buying and selling doesn't happen in a small town. It happens on a stock exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, or the NASDAQ. Think of a stock exchange like a giant digital flea market. It brings millions of buyers and sellers together from all over the world. And because millions of people are constantly changing their minds about what a company is worth, stock prices move up and down every single second. Sometimes, prices move because a company reports huge profits. Other times, prices move purely because of investor emotion, where people panic sell or hype buy based on social media trends, even if nothing about the actual business changed. So, if the market is a bit of a roller coaster, why do people do it? How do you actually make money? There are 2 main ways. Way 1, capital gains. This is what Alex did. You buy a stock at $10, hoping the company grows, and sell it years later at $50. The difference is your profit. Way 2, dividends. When massive, mature companies make a mountain of profit, they don't always need all of it to grow. So they decide to distribute a portion of that cash back to the shareholders. When you buy a stock, you are buying a piece of a business run by real people trying to make a profit. If you found this breakdown helpful, do me a massive favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.